I get the symbolism. I get it, Neil. I get it. We made it through. We did it. I did it all. I did it. 2112. I did it. The year 2112. I'm trying to think, will I ever be alive in 2112? No, I'd be 117. That wouldn't make sense. I gotta take these fucking glasses off. It's giving me a headache. So obviously we've got some like imperialism going on. Very much it feels very very Star Wars-esque. Trying to think, try to go through. So the overture, beautiful, introducing us to like the musical motifs of the whole thing. I also like that you get an idea of how the music's gonna be. I love overtures. Overtures always make me cry when I see musicals. I do think that this is like quintessentially Theater Kid because it feels like an album for a musical. Like it feels like, you know, very story driven, obviously. So it feels very musical theater. Like I wouldn't be surprised if this is like turned into something at some point with these. Like I'm surprised it's not already. Was not, or maybe they, you know, just didn't want to. That's always possible. I like the presenting us with the conflict and the people and like the way that and the symbolism of that. And I like the way that like we create. I like the way that we create this idea of how. What do I like? I like how we create this idea of how we are expected to digest things and how it's propositioned to us as being unifying. And it reminds me of a lot of things happening right now. And all of it, you know, everything is, it's a constant. Like the way people are is kind of a constant. History repeats itself. And so there's lots of things that remind me of situations like this that happened in the temple song and that will continue to happen in the future, you know? I think the discovery portion is so beautiful because it feels so pure, like with the waterfall in the background, a real hero's journey. We were established with the visuals that this is, you know, a farmer, someone who is just, you know, what is it they say later on? Just focus on the average, you know, that is just focused on his day to day, and then is discovers a passion, discovers something beautiful and new, and wants to share it, and then to be shut down in such a way, I think is really quintessential to like artists and what it's like to be an artist. And the things that we can do in those societies too, like what are we capable of, you know? And I think, you know, this is an interesting interpretation of that. What is it they say at the very end? We have assumed control, and I don't know. I think that could be taken a lot of different ways. So discovery into presentation. Obviously, the presentation happened exactly as I anticipated it happening. It happened as I expected, and I think that, you know, as any kind of like dictator but it's interesting that it's a priest. It's interesting that there's like a melding of like religious culture and the occult sort of, and the political, and all of that being together. I think that's fascinating. The presentation, I love the storytelling aspect in that, where the priest has such a different voice, a very like very different from the protagonist. Like, I think it's really interesting how we have such extreme vocal choices. I think it really makes it come alive. I love that. And of course, we got a little bit of that in the temple song as well. And then having this whole other subsection of being like the oracle, the dream, the soliloquy, and the grand finale, right? So like what is intended to be done with this, how it makes us feel, how art makes us feel, how it transforms us, how it affects us, these passions that we have, and how we have to share them with other people. Like that is the plight of being an artist, right? I always say that about plays. Like, plays are written to be seen, they're written to be heard out loud. Like, music is meant to be experienced by people, you know? And I think as a true artist is someone who is not content with just doing it by themselves. They want to share it. They want it to be shared. It's like someone who like cooks food. You don't want to just cook food for yourself. You want to cook food for other people. And I think that is it's like so beautifully described in this music video. I'm saying way more things than I thought I was going to say. Also, I was told by someone who recommended this to me, my little Rush angel, when I'm trying to like figure out the right videos to say, was told that they were told to be more commercial and do something that could be played more easily on the radio, right? And we know like the plight of like Queen doing that and then coming out with Bohemian Rhapsody, and they're just like, hey, we don't care. And I just love that Rush was like, oh, you want us to do something short that can be played on the radio? Here is a 20-minute song that you can't really play a one section on its own. You kind of have to do all of it together. And I actually don't care. And then it becomes this like huge success. And that's beautiful. And I love that. And again, like, I think about that. I'm sure I've said this before, but I think about that when I think of like Picasso. Like Picasso, when he was creating his style, he was saying F you to form and structure and the status quo. And impressionism, you know, he was say like, and a lot of artists in that genre were just going against form and going against the status quo, and that's such an act of protest, and artists are constantly doing that, are constantly going up against the status quo, and I think that's beautiful and wonderful, and I'm inspired by all of that. And you know, obviously, like, I really enjoyed all of the music, but I'm very inspired, and I think that's the big thing that I'm taking away from this Rushmas is really truly being inspired by artists that I feel like really speak to me, and I know that all of you feel that way too, that like it's having such a passion to tell complex stories through song, you know? It's very Shakespeare-esque, you know? Very like, hey, I want something that will connect everyone, but I still want to abide by my art, you know? And I think that's beautiful and wonderful and profound, and I think we all need more of that. So, you know, I will be doing Rushmas until I can't anymore because of whatever. Maybe it'll be because I'm like making so much money doing, and I've sold out and all that kind of stuff. That's when I'll stop doing Rushmas. Whenever I've sold out, I'll stop doing Rushmas. I have so enjoyed this Rushmas. This is the last video of Rushmas. Hopefully it gets out to you. But I, you know, really enjoy this band, and this is my second year doing this, but I have had so many great experiences watching this with you guys and having experienced it first time for me. But I just love, and I'm so enriched by people who are so passionate about these artists, and it makes me feel alive. I love it. And Rush is very musical theater. Rush is very theater kid. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they were theater kids at some point. I wouldn't be surprised. So, if you guys want to keep up with me in 2025 and the reaction videos that I post that aren't just Rush related, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so your notification every single time I post new reaction videos. I post new reactions every single Friday and whatever the frack I want to on Wednesdays. I am working on another short for Duck Duck Films, which I haven't talked about on Rushmas at all, but I am a filmmaker and an indie filmmaker, and I am working on my next short film at the beginning of February. If you want to support me, if you want to see it, you can join my Patreon. Yeah, but there's lots of ways to keep up with me, but the best thing is to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. So I've so enjoyed Rushmas. I hope you guys have a wonderful new year. You guys have a wonderful morning, noon, night, wherever it is that you are in the world. You are loved by me, and I will see you later. Alligator. After a while. Crocodile. I am so surprised these glasses did not shatter into my eyes. I don't know what that's about. Get it? Because he's Canadian. These glasses are gonna break, and I just hope they don't break into my eye. Because that would suck. Or I guess when, like, when whoever owns the masters for Rush continues to, like, copyright claim all my videos, and so I can't make one penny doing it, and, you know, all those things. Anyway, and it's got the overture, the temples of... The temples of shrinks? Syrinx? Shrink? I don't know. Oh, see, Siri thinks I'm talking to it. See, that's rough.
Syrinx.
Syrinx. All right, cool. I looked it up so no one can judge me. Siri still thinks I'm talking to it. Let's just put you on Do Not Disturb, bitch, because... What is going on over there? In that litter box? Bro! So surprised. Like, incredibly surprised.